Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cutting Hedge. I'm Tim Hedge, your host of the podcast that brings you cutting-edge ideas of the day right here from my dining room. And boy, oh boy, do I have a doozy for you. Let me ask you a question, listeners. Do you ever feel unsatisfied, sad, alone, afraid? Is your life, are your relationships, your career, is it not where you wanted it to be? Well, then this is the show for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Daniel Schmidge, CEO, founder, junior vice president, and receptionist of Scapegoat International. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Tim.
Well, thank you for joining us. Now, Scapegoat International, are you in the business of helping goats escape from captivity?
No, Tim, I haven't been involved with a goat since my first wife.
I am so sorry to hear that you're divorced. It's tragic.
Oh, no, I'm not divorced. I almost got married once, but that was just a joke.
Oh, sex joke.
Yeah, I guess.
I usually laugh at sex jokes. Anyway, please continue on.
Right. Well, yes, at Scapegoat, we specialize in finding our customers the perfect scapegoat for them to advocate all their problems to.
Oh, that sounds terrific. But tell me, why would somebody want to do that?
Well, let's be honest. It's a heck of a lot easier than actually addressing the true nature of our suffering and coming to terms with it. I mean, wouldn't you rather just blame all of that on something or someone else?
Boy, you are talking my language. English, of course.
Right, so you can really think of us as a matchmaker between your deep inner pain and some random external issue for which you can blame that pain on.
That sounds great. Well, you know what? Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the line with Daniel Schmidge.
Hi, my name is Judith.
Hi, Judith. How can I make you feel better while at the same time avoiding any challenge to the way you see yourself or the world?
Well, I just feel afraid sometimes, and to be honest, I'm not entirely sure why.
I can relate to that.
Yes, Judith, that's very common. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried blaming immigrants?
You know, my father used to complain about immigrants destroying our country, but I never really gave it much heed. In fact, I recently read a study saying economists unanimously agree that the net benefit of immigration is positive.
Now, Judith, don't go complicating things with facts here, okay? Immigrants can be a very simple yet powerful surrogate for your suffering, especially for anyone struggling with any issues surrounding their own value or importance to the world.
Tell me, Judith, how are you feeling now?
Wow. You're right. If I just place all my inner hurt on a faceless characterization of people who I've never met, I can almost entirely block out the heartbreaking reality that my mother never told me she loved me.
Incredible. That is some powerful stuff there.
Yeah.
We have Frank on the line.
Hi, Frank.
Hi. Sometimes I feel really angry. I think it's because my dad wasn't around much when I was a kid, but that's just too painful of an issue for me to address, honestly, so...
I hear you, Frank. I hear you. Now, let me ask you, do you know anything about Islam?
Not really. I mean, I used to watch 24.
Perfect. Now, listen, Frank, the next time you feel that anger brewing, I want you to direct it at Islam, a country that you know little to nothing about.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm just going to jump in there. Islam isn't a country.
Tim, I'm working here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought up facts.
Frank, how's that feel with you?
Oh, wow. No, it's working. This cloud of vague opinions is already covering up the shame I feel for the occasional homosexual thoughts that pass through my mind. Oh, thanks, Scapegoat.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling in, Frank. Daniel, I just got to say, this is some life-changing stuff that you're putting out there. How did your company come to be?
Well, a couple of years ago, I was feeling personally quite directionless. I've just lost my job, and my girlfriend had dumped me.
It's so sad.
Really was very sad. Yeah. And one night, I just decided to write some really mean comments on some conservative-leaning message boards.
Oh, that sounds cathartic.
Yeah, it was very harsh trolling stuff. And the more I did it, the better I felt. It was really quite magical.
It does sound magical.
And before I knew it, I was blaming conservatives for everything that was wrong in my life and society as a whole. And it completely distracted me from having to deal with any of my own issues. I had never felt so free. And then I thought, hey, maybe there's a way to exploit this realization for money from equally sad or angry strangers.
Truly inspiring stuff. But I'm going to ask you a tough question.
Okay.
Can anyone use the scapegoat system?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We are completely non-discriminatory in our process of deciding who you should discriminate against. We specialize in opposing political views, religion, your ex-wife, gays, poor people, rich people, vegans, the media, really anything that can distract you from having to deal with that deep emotional hurt, often stemming from childhood trauma.
Who wants to deal with that? Am I right?
Not me.
Not me. No way. Well, Daniel, I got to say you walk the walk, and that is an inspiration to all of us. Hey, listeners, why don't you come back after the break, because Daniel is going to walk us through some mental gymnastics that you can use at home to convince yourself that you are still a good person, even though you advocate for kids to be stuffed in cages. We'll see you in 5.